Excuse me. But this is where we start moving forward. We kind of know where we're going and what we're doing, right? The second half of it. So I get it. You know, you watch this and you think, yeah, Jace, this is not for me because I don't get it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see as you move forward. Right. We have the devil coming up here. So what's holding you back? It's holding you back because that's what the devil is. The devil is about what has power over us. What has power over us. And that's why I think this is frustrating. Because with the Five of Cups, we want to... I mean, it might be something that the regret, the missed opportunities, the losses, that's what's keeping you stuck. There's almost like a Four of Pentacles feel around this. And the Four of Pentacles is around being stuck in a... I don't have enough. I don't have anything to give to this. I don't know what to do, right? That kind of energy. I can't give anymore. But with the devil... I mean, that's the Lovers that are bound there. And this is something that you may have started off loving it. You know, your heart was involved and all the rest of it. And now it's turned toxic. The devil can be addictions. It can be codependency, old behavioral patterns. In fact, I'm going to say this to you. You've heard me say this before. I have my own little connections and relationships with the cards. Every reader does, because we've seen them. Especially if you've done thousands of readings. You start seeing patterns. When these two come up, that is codependency right there. Codependency. And it's a thing with the sign like Virgo. I don't like sweeping generalizations or stereotypes. Not all Virgos are like that. I understand that. But the Six of Coins, so let's go over here. I'll come back to that in a moment. This is about giving and receiving, right? But at its core, it's about being balanced first. You make sure your own scales are balanced first, and then you give away whatever's left. Make sure your own cup is full first. Then you give the rest away, right? So it's balance, and it is about giving and receiving. But I kind of feel like that didn't go the way you expected it to. Maybe where you've given, you haven't received back. Whether that was, explicitly said that, that's the contract or that's the agreement. I'll do this and you do that for me. Whether that's the case. Or whether you just thought, hey, I'll help you in your time of need. Sure, you'll be around in my time of need. Whether it's at a professional level with contracts in the works, or whether it's like repaying a loan, that kind of thing it can be. Or whether it's on a day-to-day, helping people out. There's no shame or pride in the giving and receiving. It's just we help because we can, or we ask for help because we need it. That's in the past. But I feel like this is more what you've done for others. And... you're being asked to look at that because it's keeping you stuck. We have the Five of Cups here, and this is about loss. Now, I will say this when the Five of Cups comes up. Yes, every emotion must be honored. If you're feeling loss or regret or missed opportunities or something, you missed out on something, that's valid. I'm not saying just, shake it off and let's keep going. It's not that. You can't. It must be, every emotion must be honored. The problem is not in honoring that. The problem is when we get stuck here, stagnant emotion, when that is the only emotion you feel. When all you can feel is the loss, then we've got a problem. You're drinking your sorrows away, you're doing whatever, then we've got a problem. Have you ever had that when you've broken up with someone and your friends are there for you, right? The first week, the first month, whatever. 6 months down the road. And I think it was in Sex and the City when Carrie kept going on about that guy and her friends were like, you know what? We're not equipped to deal with this anymore. You keep going on about it. You need to go get a therapist or something. It can be that. That's when we get stuck in the emotions. Not because people don't want to be there for us. It's because are we just focusing on the lack? So that's what the Five of Cups can say too. We're just only focusing on what's not there. That's going to keep us trapped. No matter what the loss has been, I get it. If you look through the comments for the videos for this month, people have experienced some real tragedies, like, big losses. So I'm not trying to poo-poo that and say get over it. But at some point, life goes on, right? So that itself might be it. It's that thing of, well, I can't move past this. And that might be what you're coming in with. But that's not going to last long. Because you've got the Five of Wands here. Fives, agents of chaos. They cause change. And this is where we step up and take action. And I get it. I kind of feel like you've not known what to do. Or maybe you have known what to do, even worse. But you've been stuck. You've been stuck with that devil energy. The devil says, though, the only chains that can hold us back are the ones that we allow to hold us back. And that's when you get that backlash whenever you say something like that of, well, I didn't choose for this to happen. I didn't choose for this person to be like that. You didn't. You didn't. But if you are still entertaining it or dealing it or keeping that as your main focus, that is your choice. I'm sorry to sound harsh, but it kind of is. When you get the devil coming up as your underlying energy, that's no joke. And it's almost like, let's face it, let's cut these chains ourselves. Because you know what happens after that? The tower comes in. And it's a lot harsher when the tower comes in after the devil. And I've heard it said, I mean, I had a friend who said this to me once. He's like, oh yeah, I want the tower to come in. And I said, you're not going to get the tower. And he said, what do you mean? What do you mean I'm not going to get the tower? I said, you want change, right? So you're hoping the tower comes in and does your dirty work. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. The tower can be internal shocks. It doesn't always have to be that everything externally gets fixed by some act of God. Right, so please be aware of that. Please be aware of that. I know not all of you are there, but somebody needs to hear it in that way. In that's where you're stuck in this kind of grief and loss and stuff. And at some point, you know, if you didn't get it back or whatever, it's just because, and that's an earth thing. And like I said, I'm a Virgo moon, so I understand this. I have a Taurus South Node as well, so I have a fair share of earth in my chart. And if the thing that we do is if we can't see it, feel it, touch it, it doesn't feel real. Or if there's something physically going on in our world, that is real. You know, it's real. So we can't get beyond that sometimes. And that's the darker aspect of Earth. Earth is amazing to build with and grow with, but that's the darker aspect of Earth, is where it becomes all encompassing. And, you know, and that's when we come up with things like, when's it going to end? When's this going to go? And it's like, what dictates whether it's ending or not? That's the physical reality of it, right? But emotionally, she can look from what's missing to what is. Relationships that matter to her, what she wants to grow, or dream even. There's no bloody price tag on dreaming. You can dream stuff, and it keeps your spirits up, that even if it's like, one day I'll do this, or when this is done, I'm going to go do that. And that's actually your advice that's coming in here. That please don't get so lost in the source of, no matter what's happening. I know that's not easy energy. No matter what's happening for you, please don't get so lost in the source of that. That, you know, that you can't see anything beyond it, because it won't always be this way. And I feel like I've said that to so many people, is knowing that it won't always be this way. And it is intense. It's an intense month. Go and look at some astrology readings on YouTube. We've got a Aries full moon coming up, which is that kind of fight instinct. But I think for you, it might be a good thing. You know, sometimes when you're upset, it's easier to get angrier, because at least it puts a bit of fire in your belly and you kind of go forward. That's what this feels like. And the Five of Wands is stepping up and taking action. Now I get it. Because the devil's telling you, but you can't do this. You don't have the money for this. Or, you know, that this is going to go wrong and that's going to go wrong. Yes, maybe with what you're dealing with. I get that. And some of you may be in a situation, that situation can't be changed. This is not about that. This is about what you are putting effort into, what you are taking action with the Five of Wands. Now, that's the bad news. That's the bad news there, right? This is the rebirth. This is the transformation. And it comes from when we do something differently. It comes from when we do something differently. And trust me, I'm not a fool. You know, I've done this. I've been doing this for years. Been in YouTube for 3 years with these videos. And it takes a very special kind of person. And we don't always have it in within us. I don't always have it. You know, there's times when I'm just want to just leave me alone. I just want to rock back and forth in the corner and not deal with anything. Who can be going through that much loss and be stuck in stuff to say, no, I'm going to go do something new. I'm not down and out yet. That situation might be dead, but I have a second chance at life. And I often think with judgment, it's almost like we kill off the old version of ourselves so that we have an opportunity for a new life. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to give to just everyone else if I don't get back. Now it's about what I want to do for my own dreams. Forget trying to make other people's dreams come true. And it doesn't even have to be that nefarious. This could be the person who works as an editor, you know, who got let go of their job and they're like, what the hell? Well, okay, cool. Now I get to go write my own book. I've been helping other people with their books for years. Now it's time for me to go work on my own book. Or taking care of everyone else in your life. And you've been, whether it's your family, it's not like, you know, just you're doing it like an idiot standing on the street corner, but your own family. And it's like, well, I can't turn my back on my own dreams. Who am I? How have I changed? And there is action. If you're feeling stuck, trust me, there's going to be movement in a direction that a situation that you thought never again, or, you know, that's gone. That's never coming back to life again. It is. Judgment is a second chance at life. It's transformation. We draw a line under the past when judgment comes up. It may be about forgiveness. There is an energy of forgiveness around judgment. Forgiveness is not condoning what was done to you. It's saying you're not going to control me with that. I know things went wrong. I know I got that, missed out on that. I know that left me, or that was lost. I know I've been stuck in this, you know, too good to leave, too bad to stay kind of situation. But I'm being reborn. And it is with fire, and it's definitely that phoenix rising up from the ashes with the 5 of Wands coming up there. And with the Knight of Wands coming up in the present. Now, what does the Knight of Wands do? He goes on an adventure. You're going on an adventure in October, Virgo. But like I said, if you're coming in at this energy, you're like, adventure, Jay. I can just about lift my head up from the ground. The Knight of Wands, some of you might be here. So you're looking at this and thinking, that was me last week, or that was me last month. You're not there anymore. And timings is a big one. I'm going to probably talk about it in Scorpio season, how timelines have changed and different things coming in. But if there's Knight of Wands energy, he's the adventurer. He's the explorer. He goes for it. He goes, and you're like, I don't know what to go for. I get it because there's something holding you back. But he will go in a new direction. He doesn't, very kind of fool-like energy. You know, the fool who takes that leap of faith. That's what he does. If he's got an option in front of him, the 2 of Wands, he's going to pick the direction that he doesn't even look familiar. That looks new. Let's go there. This is a new way of doing something. This is a new energy that you're bringing to it. And it's completely new. It's completely foreign. Right. So this is a journey. It's interesting because I'm going, those of you that know I'm going, like I said, I'm going with my Virgo sister, my Virgo sun sister. And I've just realized right now in this reading that she actually hasn't been back where I haven't been for 25 years to that area of India. It's where my family comes from. And I don't think she's been since she was a toddler. So that's her kind of adventure. So maybe for some of you, you're actually traveling. 6 of Swords can be traveling, and the Knight of Wands can be traveling too. However, it doesn't have to be that. We can use the energy in a lot of different ways. This is about, look, do you see that? She's turned her back. They've turned their back. They know they're not going back. Yes, you have to take the shit with you. The swords are there, right? What you've learned, the lessons that have come from this, you take it with you. But it's leaving that. I'm not fighting that. I'm not doing that shit anymore. I don't want to get involved in fights like that. That's what the 6 of Swords says. They're actually moving away. With the 6 coming in, it's moving away from all of this difficult energy that's been there. And Judgment is number 20. Why I call them the agents of chaos, because they cause transformation, is this is a card of transformation. It's number 20. So all 4 of those 5s, they add up to 20. So I do see them as lesser energies of judgment. Big transformative month where you're doing different things. You're doing different things. And so that's the key thing here. Focused on where you're going. Focused on new experiences. Focused on trying something new. And yeah, you don't have all the answers. The Knight of Wands doesn't. Your Knight is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles wants a plan. The Knight of Wands does not have a plan. He's more about, well, am I enjoying this? What inspires me? What am I looking to create? What am I passionate about? And that's the focus. That's what you head towards with the 6 of Swords coming in there. It's this energy of moving on. And you won't know, but it's trying something new, guys. And I don't mean like everyone leave your jobs, everyone leave those relationships. But there's loads of different ways we can try something new. You might have been married for 20 years. You might not have dated in bloody over 20 years since when you first met. Going out on dates. You know, making date night a thing to revive the relationship. Or, socializing more. Maybe you've just been working and stuck and, you know, doing whatever. You might have been grieving the loss of something. A lot of people have lost people recently. This might be when you're now getting ready to kind of go out into the world. And it's a brand new world. Anyone that's ever experienced a loss, the world changes because you change, right? You see it differently. So going out to explore, that can be big. But it's that effort. And I actually remember my dad said this to me, and it was kind of big. So my dad's not one who really talks about how he feels, but he lost his twin in April. And he said this to me, and, you know, about facing, like, going forward. Because there was a lot of arguments in the family about people that there was a wedding over summer. And a lot of people thought that, you know, it's not right. We shouldn't do that. It's too soon after the loss of whatever. And my dad actually went. He actually went to the wedding and stuff. And it was hard for him. He was in tears a few times because he missed his twin. But when you asked him, he said, I don't want to be that. But I don't want to be like this. I don't want my life to just be this, what it is now. That, you know, I love my brother. I miss my brother. And, you know, he said that a lot. He misses his brother. Of course, it's his twin. But he said, I don't want to be stuck here. And it was, you know, hard for him, obviously. And it kind of feels like it's hard for you. So I'm not saying this is the easiest. But focusing on what pulls your energy, trying new things, you know, at least trying to go forward. And it's like the more you do it, the more you look ahead and not behind, that fresh energy comes in. You get that fight back, that verve, and, you know, getting back on the horse, getting back in the ring is there. And through doing that, and this is exploring and trying new things, going to different destinations, meeting new people,